Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Execute Regardless podcast. I'm your host, Callum Roche, the founder of Winners Win, the fucking number one company on the planet for putting people in a real position to win. It's that fucking simple. Now, you don't know what this podcast is about? I'll tell you real quick. It's about proving that the only difference between winning and losing is the ability to execute regardless, but that's not what we're here to speak about today. What I want to share with you is a way of stacking the odds in your favor, and it's got to do with confidence. I'm going to explain why confidence is the fucking last thing that you need to work on building. Confidence is the last thing that you need to focus on building up. You know, you hear all these people say online, self-confidence is key, build your confidence. Let me tell you something. Building fucking confidence, being confident is the reason why most people are losing. I know that does not make sense now, but by the end of this podcast, you will know that there's a much more powerful trait that's universal that the biggest leaders, the biggest winners on this planet leverage. And it's not fucking confidence, let me tell you that. And not only can you fucking learn it, if you practice this, you can use it to get whatever it is you fucking want, okay? And it's not the ability to execute regardless. I know that's number one, okay? That's imperative, but this is definitely fucking number two, right? So I want to make you aware of it today, and it's the fucking polar opposite of what these fucking idiots are peddling online, okay? So I need you to listen up. I need you to put the fucking phone on Do Not Disturb, because if you don't, we always say this, you're going to go continuing searching for some fucking secret that doesn't exist, right? This is as real as it gets. This is no hypothetical, and you'll know by the end, okay? Just get your notepads. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the fundamentals of the problem. We're going to address it. Then we're going to talk about how you can adopt this trait, because I see it all the time with people who come into our coaching programs at Winners Win. You know what the crazy thing is? They're unbelievable at what they do. They're confident as fuck. The people who work with us, they're fucking intelligent. They're super smart. Some of them have spent years in college. Some of them have spent years refining their craft. But you know what the fucked up thing is? Let me tell you something. The fucked up thing is they still can't get what they want. They still can't get the traction. They still can't get the deal over the line. They still can't, whether they're an entrepreneur, they still can't get the sale. They still can't get people to show up for appointments. You know, if they're in a career, they still can't get the promotion. They still can't get their boss to listen to them, right? They still can't get an investment. They still can't get someone to buy into their idea. But yeah, the fucked up thing about it is they're so fucking good at what they do. They're confident as fuck, right? They have self-confidence. So why isn't it happening? Why can't they get it? Right? That's the dilemma that most people find themselves in, typically in our programs. And it's quite normal for them to feel disheartened. You know, you spend so many years working on something, whether that be an idea, whether that be a degree, whether that be in a career. You spent so many years working on something, you get really fucking good at it, but you still don't get what you want. You still can't close the gap between vision and reality. But yet you're confident as fuck. And in a lot of cases, you're better than most people at what you do. This is what we see. And of course you're going to feel disheartened. Of course you're going to feel like, what the fuck's going on? Is all this worth it? Was it a waste of time? Did I do this for nothing? Is it ever going to happen? In fact, I know this from my own experience in business. I remember on so many occasions, especially, you know, I was in the game of marketing, specifically lead generation. And I had this system. Let me tell you a story real quick. Just going to grab a drink. It's just a bit of context to how I felt the same too, right? I was in the game of lead generation. This was probably back in 2018, 2019. And I know what it's like to feel disheartened. I know what it's like to feel like this is a waste of time. You know, no matter how good of a job I do, right? And again, this could be in your career. This could be in all walks of life, because this is a universal trait. I was confident as fuck. The same way the people, our clients that come to Winners Win, they're confident as fuck too, but it's still not working. Why is this? I thought confidence is the key. And I would go into these meetings and I knew in my heart I could help these people. I knew in my heart what I was saying. I knew based off fucking statistics that what I was saying worked. But it was always a 50-50 chance that I'd get what I want. It was always 50 fucking 50. Now, why is that? Why is this happening? Why is it that I'm so fucking good at what I do, but it's still not working? Well, I'll tell you why. Because confidence is fucking bullshit. Confidence ain't the answer. Confidence is what keeps you fucking losing. And it wasn't until I got on a call with a guy called Eric Klein, okay? He was a real estate wholesaler based in Florida. The guy had went from drug addict to making 8 figures per year wholesaling real estate. The guy was an absolute sales savage. And I thought it was a sales issue at the time. I thought it was my sales pitch. So I go to this guy called Eric Klein and I say to him, Eric, I need your fucking sales help. I'm not closing enough deals. I'm not making enough money, and so on. And he calls me C. He says, what's your name? I said, Callum. He said, I'm going to call you C. And it's an American accent, right? This guy's an absolute savage. And he says to me, C, he said, let's go through your pitch. Let's go through your pitch. He said, what are you selling? And I said, well, I'm selling lead generation. And he said, let's go through it 1-to-1. So I'm walking him through my pitch. We get to the end and I hit him with the offer. And at the time it was like, I think I was looking for $1,000 a month and I would generate X amount of leads for your company. And he said to me, Callum, I want to stop you right there. I hit him with the offer. I asked him if he wanted to get signed up. He said to me, Callum, he said, there's not a fucking hope in hell I'm buying off you. He said, right off the bat, I can tell you right now, I'm not fucking buying your shit. And I'm kind of like, why? Like, I walked through the perfect pitch, I gave you all the information you need. What is it that's stopping you from buying? Now, I was kind of asking him this from a coaching standpoint. And this is when it fucking hit me. This is when it hit me. He said to me, Callum, he said, I'm not fucking buying from you. I'm not giving you money, right? I'm not fucking sold. He said, because you're not sold. He said, I'm not fucking investing in you, in your service. He said, because you're not certain that it fucking works. And I said, what? And he said, I'm not investing money in you to go and figure this out, to take a gamble with my money, that you're gonna probably do this for me. He said, I'm not fucking investing in, I'm confident we can do this, Callum. He said, I'm paying for fucking certainty. He said, that's what I want. He said, I'm not sold on this fucking service because you're not sold on yourself. You're not sold on your ability. He said, in business and in all walks of life, he said, people aren't paying for confidence, they're paying for certainty. And that's when it clicked with me. That's when it clicked with me that confidence was bullshit. That's when it clicked with me that confidence is fucking worthless. You know what's fucking priceless? Certainty. That's what people are looking for. The person who is willing to maintain absolute certainty in any given situation is the one who wins. It's as simple as that. The person who is willing to maintain absolute certainty in a given situation is the one who wins. That's what people are paying for. Confidence ain't worth fucking shit. Confidence ain't worth shit. Makes sense now, right? So the question now becomes, how do we become certain? How do we maintain absolute certainty? How do we do that? Well, write this down. We're going to go through 3 things. We're going to talk about 3 things that I did to become fucking certain. Because you're wasting your time with confidence. People who say that shit, that peddle, be confident, be confident. You need to be fucking certain, right? Now, how do we become certain? Well, let's talk about the first thing. First thing you need to do to become certain is you need to validate that you are who you say you are. You need to rebuild trust with your brain. Write that down. First thing is you need to rebuild trust with your brain. You need to start validating the fucking words that come out of your mouth. And I'll tell you why this is super important. Your brain doesn't trust what you fucking say anymore. Your brain doesn't believe you. You're not fucking sold yourself, okay? When I say build trust with your brain, that's called getting sold yourself, right? You need to be fully fucking sold before you go and try sell anyone else on what it is that you're trying to do. So if you look at this in business, if you're not sold on the product or service, nobody else is going to be sold. If you're not going to be sold on that suggestion that you're bringing to your boss in your job, to try and add value, to try and make a difference, he's not going to give you the fucking promotion. Okay? If you're not sold on the idea that you're trying to get investments for, they're not going to fucking invest. And the reason why you're not fully sold, because it's very important that we teach you how to become fully sold. The reason why you're not fully sold is for multiple reasons. Number one, you don't fucking follow up what you say you're going to do with action, right? You don't execute regardless of the circumstances. And this is, there's causes for this. First one is, mentally, you don't have the capacity. Physically, you don't have the capacity. Now, you might have some capacity. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying, but the capacity to do this 24/7, 365, right? To actually validate when I say I'm going to do something, I go and fucking do it. And my brain starts to believe me, right? How many times have you told yourself, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you never go do it? Every time you do that, you're basically telling your brain that you're a bullshit artist. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, your brain it further validates the narrative that you are not who you say you are. Okay? And your brain doesn't trust you. So you say you're going to go do something. Oh, I'm going to do this. Even your own fucking brain doesn't believe you. Right? So what you need to do is you need to rebuild trust. So how do we go about doing that? Well, this is in many different aspects of your life. Not only your actions, but how you look, how you feel, how you go around, how you operate, okay? How you look at yourself in the mirror, how you look mentally and physically. If you're telling yourself you're fucking this savage operator, but then when you look in the mirror, it doesn't correlate, okay? Mental, physical, your actions, it doesn't correlate in the real world. Well, you're not going to believe yourself. You're not going to believe yourself. Does that make sense? So what you need to do is you need to start small. You need to start small. First of all, do not commit to something if you're not going to do it. Do not commit to something if you're not going to do it, because that's just giving you brain damage. That is damaging fucking, what we could say, that's building confidence. Sorry, just getting a drink. What you're doing by doing this is what the experts say about building confidence. But what you need to know about confidence is only a fucking stepping stone to something greater. Confidence is only a fucking stepping stone to what it takes to win, which is certainty. And you need to start doing that, okay? You need to start validating the fucking words that come out of your mouth. You need to start validating that you are who you say you are, and then you start to become sold and certain in your own abilities. Does that make sense? That's the first thing I would do. The second thing that you got to do to start becoming certain in yourself is you got to be bold. You got to be bold. In everything you do, you must be bold. You ever hear the old saying? They say, under promise and over deliver. Under promise and over deliver. Let me tell you something about that saying. If you under promise and over deliver in any fucking aspect of life, business, politics, personal, professional, it doesn't fucking matter, okay, in your career. If you under promise and over deliver, you ain't going nowhere. Nobody will pay, nobody will listen, nobody will follow average. Nobody will fucking listen, pay, do average. Nobody fucking wants average, right? If you want to start becoming certain, here's what you got to do. The second thing is you need to be bold. But that boldness, whether it be what you're trying to pull off, what you're suggesting, what you're trying to get people to do, whatever it is, it needs to be bold as fuck, but it needs to be backed by faith in yourself. You need to back yourself, right? You need to be willing to place a bet in yourself and have courage, have faith in your own ability to figure things out for yourself. And let me tell you something about that. Let me give you examples. I've been in so many fucking situations throughout the years, right? When I didn't know how I was going to figure this out. I didn't know how I was going to get to point B. I didn't know how I was going to deliver for certain clients. But you know what I was? I was bold enough to place a bet on myself. And I had the courage to take a chance, right? And I'm telling you, 10 times out of 10, you're way smarter than you think. You're way smarter than you think, right? They make you by you investing in programs, by you relying on other people, you never get to see how smart you are when you actually apply yourself. So let me tell you something. You need to place more fucking trust and more faith in yourself. You need to place bets. You need to be fucking bold. I've been in so many situations. I remember in this specific situation, we're talking about lead gen here. I've been in so many business meetings where there'd be people, guys, at the time I was probably 19, 20, where business owners in their fucking 40s and 50s, sitting on the opposite side of the table, ask me would I be able to pull this off. And it got to the point where I started to just saying, yeah, you know what, I can fucking do that, no problem. Yeah, that's easy. I do that all the time, right? And that's because I had fucking faith in myself, in my abilities to pull this off. And let me tell you something about this. Rather than fucking under promising and over delivering, you always need to over promise and over deliver. And don't be afraid to do that, right? Because criminals are the ones who don't deliver on their promises. You're not a criminal. You're not a criminal. Only criminals don't deliver on their promises. Over promise and fucking over deliver. Because you're not a criminal, right? That's the second thing. Write that down. You need to be sold. That's number one. Number two, you gotta be bold. You need to back that with faith. And let's go on to the third thing, which is when you do those three, when you start rebuilding trust with your brain, right? When you start validating the fucking words that come out of your mouth, when your brain actually says, you know what, this guy is the fucking real deal. This woman is the real deal. You start being bold. You start over promising and over delivering. You start validating this even further. What happens is something happens with your eyes, which is number three. You start to see the certainty in your eyes. This is a fucking real thing. The eyes are powerful. You can fucking close a deal. You can close a sale. You can close an investor. You can close your fucking boss just with your eyes. People can see certainty in your fucking eyes. And this is the third thing. If you can't see it in your eyes, I'm telling you, people can read you like a book. People can read you like a book. When I speak to people, when I get on the topics of winning, when I get on the topics of health, right, I get so fucking obsessed. People say, you know what? This guy's fucking crazy. This guy has an insane belief. This guy actually believes what it is that he's saying. That's the level of fucking certainty that you need to get to. When you're in conversation with people and you're talking to people about this, you want to be so fucking obsessed with this, so fucking sold that people are like, holy shit, this guy, this girl, they really believe what they're saying. They're not fucking joking. And that's what happens as a byproduct of the first two. You start to see it in your eyes. And you have to fucking see it in the eyes, right? That's where certainty is. Certainty is in the eyes. So they're the three things that you got to do. You got to get sold. You got to be bold. You got to back that with faith. And then you got to get it in the eyes. You got to get to the point where people are like, you know what? This guy's fucking crazy, right? This guy, he's making a fucking bold claim here. But you know what? I think he's fucking serious. I think this guy's serious. He doesn't seem like he's joking. That's the fucking level of certainty that I'm talking about, right? They're the three things that you got to do. Losers are confident. Winners are fucking certain. And in any given situation, the person who is the most certain wins. Okay? The person who maintains the most certainty in any given situation is the one who wins. And that's how you fucking do it. Alright? So you're either certain from the get-go because you've just got this fucking insane belief, or that's how you fucking build up to it. Let's give examples. Let's take a business example and put yourself in the fucking role of a business owner. Let's say someone comes in and they offer a business solution and they say, you know what, I've got a really great product or service. We think it can really help you. You know, it's only $1,500 per month, blah, blah, blah. You give them the whole pitch and then, you know, you ask them for the $1,500 or the $2,000, whatever it is that you want. Do you think that compared to someone coming in and saying, you know what, I can fucking guarantee you, right? Let's forget about the money for a second. I'm willing to do this for free for 7 days, first of all, to prove to you that I'm not fucking bullshitting you. That's the first thing. After that, the price is $2,000 a month. I wouldn't expect you to give me money until you actually could see that this worked. But on the condition, once I prove that to you, it's $2,000 per month. Now, off the back of that, you're going to make $40,000 per month. How does that sound to you? You see the difference in those two things? You know, oh, listen, you know, I really think, blah, blah, blah. I really think that this is a great service. I think this could help you, where it's like, hey, you know, let's not talk about money. let me actually show you that this fucking works for us. This is how much it is. Don't worry about it. If you don't want it, it's all good, because we're going to go to the competitor down the road regardless. So I said, you know what, you guys, you deliver a great product or service. We want to help you. We think you'd be a good fit for our company. So we'll do it for free for the next few days. And off the back of that, then you can make a decision. Does that sound good to you? You see the difference in just the two ways you go about that? One is like, I think this might work. And the second one is, I don't really give a fuck whether you do this or not, because someone else is going to give me money, right? Same when you go into a meeting with your boss and you're kind of half-ass suggesting ideas, whereas you got someone saying, hey, listen, I know how to fucking solve this problem, right? This is what we need to do. This is why. This is how it's going to happen. This is why you need to listen to me. I know what I'm talking about here. Right, you see the difference, whereas someone's like, oh, I think we should do this. I think this is a good idea. Fuck thinking, bro. People don't want that. People are looking to place their hope in someone who is certain. There's a great quote in the Bible, in Proverbs. It states, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Where there is no vision, the people will perish. People are fucking craving certainty. They're looking for somewhere to place their hope. And you need to offer that to them, okay? Whether that be something you're trying to build, whether that be a family issue, whether that be, a girl you're trying to win over, whether that be a deal you're trying to close, an appointment you're trying to set, an investor you're trying to win. People are looking to place their hopes somewhere, okay? People are craving certainty. And all you have to do is ask yourself, would you buy confidence? Would you buy someone who's just confident? Hey, I think this might work. Hey, you know what? This is great. Or would you buy from someone who's like, you know what, bro? This is the fucking way. And if you don't roll with this, it's all good, because we're going without you. Ask yourself. Take an example. Would you buy confidence? Because I'm telling you now, when I get a fucking sniff of confidence, when I can tell that you're not certain, good luck. I ain't giving you shit. I ain't doing whatever you were saying. I'm looking for someone who's fucking set. They're like, bro, this is the way. This is where we're headed. You better fucking come if you're serious about this. That's the level of certainty that you need. You got to be sold on yourself. You got to be bold. You got to be willing to place a bet on your own abilities to figure shit out. You got to get it in your eyes, right? Confidence ain't worth shit. Confidence is worthless. Certainty is priceless. That's what all the biggest leaders in the world are. That's how they sell their vision. That's how they get what they want. Because they're certain. They're certain in themselves. Fuck being confident. You need to be certain. Right? So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this podcast a rating. Reciprocate it. Be a force for good. That's all I ask. Consider this, as I always say, your one-to-one mentor program. I wish I had a fucking mentor like this. Give me fucking no fluff, no hypothetical bullshit. Stuff that's actually trial and tested, right? So reciprocate it, give it a share. Reach out to me, Callum at executeregardless.com. We'll answer some of your questions in one of the Q&A sessions. But until then, listen, I appreciate you. Let's waste no time. Roll into the day, going forward. Steamroll anyone who gets in your fucking way. And fuck confidence. You need to become certain, right? I appreciate you. Winners win, execute regardless.